Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys going to the sacrifice this weekend to the snow gods? Wake up, get some coffee and food in me, figure out what the plan is for the day. Hopefully we devise the plan the day before. That makes life way easier.
Does that happen often though?
Yeah, sometimes you just get up and it's like you didn't think it was going to be good that day, and all of a sudden it's super nice out and you're like, oh god, what should we do? We got to make use of the sun. Yeah. So yeah, usually I try and gather up all my GoPro stuff and camera stuff. I try and film every day that I can. You know, it's like if I'm going to spend this time going out snowboarding, you know, I want to do something worthwhile and get something cool. To the hill, usually I either just go ride the resort or go snowmobile. So if it's like a snowmobile mission, oh my god, there's like 20,000 more steps before I can go snowboarding.
Yeah,
make sure the sled's gassed up, make sure the truck's gassed up, get to the trailhead, make sure you got your beacon shovel pro backpack, all your gear, extra mittens, goggles, because you're going to ragdoll and lose all that shit.
Most likely.
Definitely, oh for sure, like 100% for sure. Make sure your sled's topped off on oil. You know, then you got to get to the trailhead. Hopefully you don't have a trailer because those things suck ass in the winter when there's snow on the road. And then yeah, I get there, drop all the sleds, rip out to the spot. Hopefully don't get stuck and end up upside down a tree. That also happens like every day. So this summer, like, you know, a bunch of my friends, we didn't really have any like snowboard video that we were really putting anything towards, but we had all this footage between all of us. And so my friend Matt Williams, he was like, let's just put together a snowboard video. Yeah. So yeah, he just came up with the name Uncaged, and I was super busy. I didn't have any time to really think about it, so I was like, oh yeah, totally. Me and Dylan share this crazy ass part. We have this crazy part where it's like it's shared, but it's
Dylan
like
who?
real sick. Thompson.
Sick.
Yeah. Cool. I don't think so. No, I think he's just like it's kind of like more of an introverted type of person, you know, like he definitely, you know, he just like doesn't say too much. Yeah, he's a man of few words, but he carries a big motherfucking sword, dude. You should see that. I learned a lot from filming street with him this year. He's actually like, he operates like really efficiently. It was actually insane watching him go and just like learning all of his street knowledge and everything from filming in the streets. It was really impressive. Like he's just got it so dialed from doing it so many years and everything, you know, and he's just was like, you know, he like knew what types of spots to look for and all this other stuff, and you know, he's just like, he's extremely like focused and motivated. Maybe I'm autistic, I don't know. It's funny though, when he gets drunk though, it's hilarious, because Dylan just like, the floodgates just open, and it's like so funny, because like there's so much shit where like, you know, he's like, when something's like really like kind of like pissing him off or whatever, like unless it's like something he needs to take care of right then, he's just like whatever, he just doesn't say anything about it. But then like when he gets drunk, he'll just like start ranting about some shit, and it's super funny.
Just letting it all loose.
Yeah, he'll like let it loose, and you're like, fuck yeah, Dylan. Like, yeah, it's just, it's annoying that everybody cares so much about it right now. You know, that it's like that big of a deal, and that it almost like runs our life. Like literally my Instagram fucking views are like, they translate into how my career is perceived. And it's like funny because how it started was just like, oh yeah, share some photos of my friends, who my friends are up to, and now it's just this whole other thing that's, it's like something that was pleasure just totally got business thrown into it now. And it's like, you know, it's kind of like similar to snowboarding for a living, you know, where it's like snowboarding is this thing I love, but sometimes doing it for a living and my whole like livelihood is based off it. Sometimes like things will get frustrating or I'll get burnt out, and you know, sometimes I'll have like so much shit expected of me, and I'm just like, don't feel like I can deliver it. Sometimes I'll post the stupidest shit and it gets so many more views.
Isn't that weird?
Than like anything else. So like, I'll work so hard and make the most like baller video, and it gets like no love, and then I'll just post something that I wasn't even gonna post because I thought like, oh, I filmed it shitty, or it's like whatever, and it gets like 150,000 views. Maybe now that Pornhub's getting involved in snowboarding, though, maybe I'll get
new sponsor
more,
coming up.
New sponsor, working the social media, dude. Some Pornhub plugs. Like, hey, I'm alone and bored in this gondola at Mammoth Mountain.
Today.
I wonder what I could do with this 5 minutes at Pornhub. Fucking thinky face emoji.
Like a plane? I don't know, like an airline sponsor.
Free flights anywhere. Damn. What's a good airline?
Delta.
Don't expect luggage to arrive. I don't really like that.
Yeah, but all the airlines suck, really. They really do.
Oh, but actually, if I'm sponsored by them, then I won't have to pay their obnoxious $150 each way surfboard fees.
There you go.
Another reason why I don't fly Delta. Yeah. My family would go down to the beach like for a week or two every summer. Dude, straight up, we were in, we'd go to like Seaside Park and Heights, like where all that shit was filmed. It's insane. Like literally, that show is like almost an understatement of the reality there. It's like they almost couldn't.
It's like worse than that.
It's like yeah. It's like literally like gnarlier than the shit because I feel like they did a bunch of crazy shit, and filmed a bunch of crazy shit, and they like couldn't even show it. Spring loaded was always fucking. See, that's the thing is because the odds were always loaded against you if you weren't from fucking Killington.
Yeah.
Like literally, you couldn't place in that contest or do anything if you weren't from Killington. So I'd like literally go there and put down winning runs and like not even make finals. First memory though of Killington Spring Loaded was sick. Like the very first person I met the first time I ever went to Spring Loaded, I was like 12 or 11 or something, super young. I met Lucas Magoon. And like just us as little like 12-year-olds, it was the funniest shit because within like 15 minutes of meeting this kid, we both were like getting tackled by ski patrol and getting our passes pulled. Because we were hucking snowballs up at the gondola and shit. Yeah, we're like 11. We got tackled by ski patrol and they like ripped our tickets off and were like total dicks to us. And Magoon's mom worked at the resort and she like found out about it and like flipped her shit and they had to like come back and give us our tickets and apologize. Little Magoon, he just, even at 12 years old, he just didn't give a fuck. He was awesome. For what it is and like how harsh like penalties have been on it, it's like amazing to see it in my lifetime that like it's like prohibition on alcohol being lifted, but almost like weed is almost like less like bad than alcohol even.
Almost or like completely?
Completely way more. You know, it's like stoners don't really fight each other, you know, do any shit like that.
No.
And it's just funny how like harsh it's been, but you know, like I read into it quite a bit actually, you know, did some research and it's like has a lot to not even do with weed psychoactive effects and everything because you used to be able to like pay your taxes in hemp and money used to be printed on hemp and hemp is actually like a way better textile material for like literally everything like rope and clothes. It's but what ended up happening was people came out with petroleum based polymers and they had all these patents on it and then they launched smear campaigns like Reefer Madness to get rid of industrial hemp, but they did it through like making weed just like a drug. You know, and that's like really it was just a ploy to get rid of industrial hemp, and now people maybe pulled their heads out of their asses and figured out a way, kind of a way to bring it back using like starting with like CBD and medicinal marijuana, and they like are like, hey, like give up this stupid Reefer Madness bullshit. Like you guys all got brainwashed. Like the new generation didn't have Reefer Madness, so we're all like, what the? I mean, I don't know about a government conspiracy, but it's more just like. But companies leveraging things to, you know,
corporations are government almost. You know, like they're so
that's so deep. The weirdest shit I've seen was in South Korea. I went there when I was like, it was one of the first places I ever went outside of the U.S. And I went to like a Junior Worlds contest, and I do not know what the fuck I ate half the time, but there was just some weird ass shit. Like, I remember this soup that they had. Like, they went stirring it up, and like there was just like tentacles, and I swear I saw like an eyeball pop out of it. It was like just some, like they just had some weird funky ass seafood shit going on. It was like, I remember half the stuff, like some of the stuff I ate, I was like, oh, this is not too bad. And then like some other stuff I ate and I was like what the fuck? And everyone's just munching. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna starve tonight. It's kind of weird that they do it there. I don't know do they have big mountains? What about downhill?
You need one steep hill.
Yeah, but you need like 2,000 feet of vert at least to have a downhill.
Do you?
This is the Olympics. They're not gonna have bitch-made downhill.
I don't know. I don't watch the giant.
Like you need to be able to go like 80 miles an hour for like 2 minutes straight to have a downhill, pretty much. Have you ever watched the downhill? It's gnar. I would never do.
Who watches the
Yo,
downhill?
it's gnar. I would never do any of that shit. Like, it's like even though it's ski racing or whatever, and ski racing, but like the shit they do is so crazy. Downhill is like the gnarliest thing. Like legit, like if you fuck up, like you will like either get really worked or like die.
With like razor sharp edges on like
razor sharp. They fucking
skis.
pour water on that shit to turn it to ice to make it faster.
That's crazy.
It's fucked up.
Doesn't sound fun at all.
No. That's why I never turned into a ski racer, because it just did not look enjoyable.
Or a skier.
Yeah, because fuck ski boots. That is like most of the reason why I don't do it, because I have like a lot of skier homies.
Most of the reason, but not all of it. So,
yeah,
so
like,
what is the reason that you would do it?
Because it's way more convenient in the backcountry for touring and stuff like that.
Good point.
4 edges, 4 times the control. You can go way bigger on hips. I spent a lot of time shredding with Sammy Carlson and like seeing like what the skis can do for him versus like what the snowboard does for me. Like I really noticed like where the trade-offs kind of are and everything. So like, you know, like I noticed on skis it's way easier to hold like a perfect line, especially like blasting really big on hips. Like You know, if you watch
you can
him,
like point it like way faster for way longer. Like.
Yeah, and just like have a straighter takeoff, because on a snowboard you got to be on your edge to do a setup turn, where the skis you can square up on both skis and hold that line and not drift. Or on a snowboard you kind of have a little bit of drift because you got to like use your edge a little bit.
Does that make snowboarding cooler then, because it is harder?
I don't know. What is cool?
Definitely.
Is blue hair
is
cool?
it
holding
is
a GoPro stick all the time?
I don't know. It definitely used to not be cool. For sure, like when
I think
I started
if
doing that
made
shit,
it
people
cool,
used to talk so much shit
I think
about
you've made it cool. Yeah. If anything, not many people can pull it off, but I think you pull it off very well.
Thank you. Rest assured, for the GoPro to put in the right place, you really gotta extend that arm straight out.
And you hold like this,
like that.
Okay, I'll have to practice that.
Fist.
I don't have a GoPro stick. I just hold the GoPro.
You can't bend your elbow. You gotta.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
I got lots of tips.
Erect arm.
Erect arm.
Solid grab.
Solid grip. Forethought. You really got to think out what you're doing.
Okay.
You know, every time I go into it, I kind of have a plan, because when you hold your arm out straight, that's like not how you do tricks normally. So you gotta like compensate for it. So a lot of times actually like doing spins and stuff and like jump tricks.
So you can't like
bigger the jump, the easier, because it's like I don't have to.
So you have
throw
your pre-spin and then you can like set it out. Or
I don't pre-spin. I take off perfect straight.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant like the wind up.
Yeah. So like a lot of times I hold one arm straight. Right? So if I'm spinning cab, my front arm is out straight and all the throw comes from my back arm. Okay. Like a lot of times I don't use the camera arm for the wind up. That's why like you only have the other arm. Okay. So like a lot of it just comes from like following.
So doing a 7 on
like
a 30-foot jump might not be practical like.
I mean you can do it. It's just kind of like it's hard to.
I mean you can do it.
Yeah. So an 80 on a side hit. So you want to kind of have the camera like out in front of you a little bit.
So always front arm.
Either front or back, but I mean in front of you, like, so this is like, you never want to go back this way, because then your body blocks like most of what's in the frame. So you kind of want to be like in front of you, sort of like this sort of zone, and like kind of up to like I try stuff so many times. Like a lot of times I just go out and I'll just do tons of random different stuff, see what works, and then like see where I screwed up, and then just go out and fix that the next time I go out. You know, it kind of takes like a little bit of just trial and error. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just a little back 180, you kind of hold it like out in front of you, up a little bit, and you really want to try not to like pull it into you or like waver your arm. It's like you want to just stay like squared up on your board and like, you know, get a nice like even pop off it. You don't really want to use your arms to like help you pop. You want to like have just everything kind of come from your legs, and just hold it still out there and try and keep it kind of in the same spot. And you know, even if you can look at it and smile. GoPro in our training seminars, they teach facial expression. Yeah, dude, we got being part of like the GoPro program. I've been one of their like athletes for the last 5 years, and we have like a lot of private events, and they'll like just teach us stuff like, you know, like what stuff kind of is like they've found to resonate well on social media. You know, like what kind of like you know, kind of basic stuff like wear like a single color like bright jacket. You know, that pops way better in photos and helps you separate you from the background. But yeah, like if I really want to get like you know, like a really proper GoPro shot, I'll try and wear like, you know, something bright and poppy that'll like really contrast what I'm snowboarding against. You know, and then facial expression, you either want to have like the extreme like like the extreme face,
practicing.
Or like either extreme or smiling. You know, it's like they want like the facial expression. That's like people really seem to like that a lot. So I'm basically doing a trick and focusing on keeping myself in the frame while I'm filming, and when I'm shooting photos, I try and like look at the camera and do other shit and get it in that perfect thing. So
like mid-track, you're like watching and then you're like.
Yeah, when I'm also shooting photos too, I gotta trigger the photo burst like when I'm halfway up the lip. So like literally those like still photos that I shoot at Super Park and shit, I'm like triggering the burst like when I'm halfway up the lip, like mid throwing, like as I'm throwing a trick, I'm like hitting the button.
That's some crazy multitasking right there.
And then yeah, trying to keep like
it's kind of wild.
My arm and everything in it, and then yeah, I also edit all the shit too. So that's like I don't sleep.
He's still in his
I don't
fucking
have a life.
snowboard boots. Have you seen this?
I'm still in my fucking. What
time
is it?
He was sporting, and then he was editing, and then he came here, and here he is, still in his.
Yeah, I got 100 gigs of GoPro footage that I picked up today.
Yeah, today, 4 features, 100 gigs.
I guess so. It's gonna be one of those.
When was the last time you did that?
I think in Europe. After
this year, this past year.
I haven't been to Europe in a while. I haven't gone that much since I like stopped really doing a lot of contests.
Yeah.
Where was it? Was I in Locks? No.
Snowboard boots at the bar.
Davos.
I've never done that.
Oh yeah, I was wasted playing Hammerschlagen.
Oh yeah.
It's insane that that's everywhere. I feel like a bunch of drunk people with hammers and nails in a bar is, and like you have to flip it before
They're
you hit it.
European. They're fine though. Americans.
Yeah, I know,
We're
exactly.
the ones that fuck it up.
I know, that's why I was amazed by it. I was like, oh wait, this is Europe. People aren't fucking idiots in Europe. They actually have common sense.
We've also been drinking for like ever.
Yeah.
You know.
If that shit was in a bar in the U.S., like someone would be murdered within the week.
Oh, for sure. Someone would just put a fucking
and then
nail
they would,
through their hand.
And then they would like
foot.
somehow like their lawyers would try and blame it on the rest, like on the bar.
Oh, totally.
Like you shouldn't have had a dangerous weapon in your bar.
You're like, it's a maintenance tool.
Oh my god. I hate how everything's so idiot-proofed in the U.S. So stupid. People are such
We
fucks.
do suck.
It's because of the whole like lawsuit lawyer sue you system, because like people can literally just like do something stupid and get hurt, and even though they fully knew what they were doing, that it was wrong, they can like somehow find a way to legally blame the other person and get money out of them. Things in the U.S. are tried to be made idiot-proofed, and it's a pain in the ass snowboarding. So when we're trying to hit street spots, everyone's like, "Get the fuck off my property! You're gonna fucking sue me," and all this stuff. And it's like everyone's like, "No, it's a liability issue. Like we'd love to watch you snowboard, but we can't do it because our insurance and all this stupid shit." And it's like, oh, it makes it such a struggle to do street stuff. You know, where I'm like, when I grew up, you know, riding with my family and stuff, when I was like 7, 8 years old, I was like riding by myself, you know, and it's like being an 8-year-old on a snowboard on my own, there's like a lot of super dangerous situations where what I did was 100% up to my 8-year-old self-discretion, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I'm really,
You'll be fine.
really happy.
Make good choices.
Exactly. I'm really happy I had snowboarding to like give me, like present me with those challenges at such a young age. I think it really like,
so at least you're fucking up in snowboarding when you're young instead of fucking up in like the real world when you're young.
Totally. Yeah. Oh yeah. So my dad Bruce, he's total shredder.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 67 now, and
That's awesome.
yeah, him and my brother started snowboarding a year before I did, and then they just went out a couple times and they're like, "Yo, you guys got to check this out," and they bought this snowboard video, the Meltdown Project by Mac Dog at this shop, and they brought it home, and I watched that shit like 1,000 times.
So you ride with him all the time still, or like
yeah,
whenever you can?
So it got me stoked, and then the next year we would go out every weekend. Me and my dad, my mom, my brother and sister, and we'd all just go snowboarding every weekend. Yeah. And that's like what really got me hyped up on it, was because like they started doing it, and then they brought home a video, and I saw it and was like, whoa, this is awesome, I want to do it too. And they were really hyped because then we all got to like go as a family and go snowboard every weekend.
It's pretty awesome. Not many people get to do that.
Yeah. Crazy shit going down with Flow. They just got bought by Nidecker. So yeah, I just signed a 2-year deal, so they're keeping me around. Flow is like,
you've always been with them though.
Yeah, for like 10 years.
Forever.
Holy crap, it's been so long. Yeah, really stoked on all the product and everything they're making. But yeah, I think it's cool that Nidecker took them over, because now like I think all their stuff's gonna be made in Austria again, or in Europe, which is cool. Like over the last few years, a lot of the gear started going to China.
It was China.
Well, it was like Flow used to make all their stuff in Austria, and that was like when shit was really tight. Yeah. And then the whole industry kind of had this like, all at the same time, started making all their low-end stuff in China, and then all their high-end stuff was still made in Europe. And that was kind of like what Flow was doing for a while. And then, yeah, it's kind of weird to see it all change. And it's kind of like what skate brands have been doing for years. They've all kind of been under like certain umbrellas. You know, a lot of skate brands have been made by like the same people, even though they're different brands. Because like Nidecker is all, like they make boards, and now they're gonna have like boots and bindings. But like they also own Jones, now. They're like kind of like a bigger umbrella company, you know, which is sort of cool. So it's like Flow's still gonna be there, and it's gonna be flowing. You know, but it's kind of cool too that they have like all these other resources and everything. Oh my God, I would do anything to have Andrew Muddy be my team manager again. Like when I literally learned like everything I knew from Muddy. Like he is just the man, first of all. Like that was when I first started riding for Flow. I just like gotten out of high school, didn't know shit, and like Muddy took me around everywhere with Lego, and I just like would just see what he did and like learn everything. I don't know. I had like the Rat and Gubby.
Oh,
he knocked 2 dudes out at once.
What?
Yeah, these like 2 dudes were trying to beat him up, and they were like, he just fucking boom. How old am I? I'm not gonna say because I don't want my sponsors to find out. Yeah, there's like this stigma. I remember growing up, there's a stigma about like the age 26. Like I feel like so many snowboarders just at age 26 like fall off the face of the earth, and they're just like, I don't know, maybe just real life kicks in, or they realize that like, oh shit, if I actually want to have a real life, like snowboarding isn't like, yeah, snowboarding isn't fully paying the bills, and this was fun, but like now I'm off my parents' health insurance and I gotta pay for my own shit, so like fuck. Yeah, it sucks that no snowboard sponsor pays for any sort of health insurance or anything. It's like insane. It's so loose and just up to like riders. Like there's so many snowboarders at Super Park that don't have health insurance. It's gnar. Like real talk, like it's crazy that it can even exist like that. Like when you're a pro snowboarder, you are 110% on your own. Yeah. Like, you know, and if you get like seriously injured and you don't have health insurance because your sponsors don't pay you like enough for you to even fucking afford it, then like they also stop paying you because you can't snowboard for a certain span of time because you got hurt, and it's like you're fucked. You literally just like, you get injured, they'll pay you and everything's good snowboarding, and then like if you get injured kind of bad, and it's like
a double loss.
Then you're just double loss and you're fucked. Yeah, these big air tours, fucking sick. We did 3 of them last year. We're doing 10 stops this year, mostly like East Coast and some Midwest mountains.
Is that the one they did in Fenway Park? Was that a salmon?
No, these are just at
seems like it should be though, right?
I know, really. Yeah, that was like a scaffolding big air. These are kind of like, that was a contest. These
are
just
like
mountains. Yeah, these are kind of just like shows. It's not even a contest.
Like an exhibition?
Yeah, it's an exhibition. They like have these crazy 3D projectors, and they project all this trippy 3D shit onto the landings, and it's all timed out, and we have like, not really like a set routine, but we all go in like these formations of like skiers and snowboarders, and like we all drop in these like formations, and we kind of just do whatever tricks, or we like figure out what we want to do before, and we like
kind of like
put on this like show.
Tony has Boom Boom Hub Jam meets Nitro Circus with a dash of fucking Sam Adams. A dash of that fucking Boston.
Yeah, there's some Boston.
Okay, I see that.
Serious fucking Boston in there.
I can get behind that.
We kind of hit a lot of not bigger resorts. You know, like last year we did Camelback in Pennsylvania, we did Cranmore in New Hampshire, and we did Big Sky in Montana. You know, so it's kind of cool that we're hitting all these other less trafficked resorts because the crowds get way more stoked. You know, it's really cool, like, because if you do a fucking 720 on a jump in Breckenridge, nobody is gonna give a fuck. Like, you gotta do
there's just like doubles going on all the time.
Literally every other second a skier says the word dub 12. So like, you can't even like, a triple cork won't even fucking impress anybody in Colorado. So it's like, it's kind of cool that we're hitting all these other resorts because, you know, it's like literally we're just doing like backflips and like 720s and like maybe 900 or 2, and you know, if we're feeling frisky, someone chucks a double, and like the crowd goes nuts, and they're so hyped, and it's like they're just stoked because they like never even get to see like snowboarding at even
in person, that like maybe like on TV or online, is it like?
Yeah, and just getting to meet all the riders and stuff.
And they're getting drunk. How do you not have a good time?
Yeah, and we're getting drunk. We do like an autograph signing and hang out with them and everything. So it's like, it's really cool that we get to all these places where people who wouldn't, you know, ever get to hang out with like a bunch of pro snowboarders like get to for a day. It's like really rad to get to like just like talk with people and slap high fives and say what up, and you know, like, hey, we're real people. We're not just like these things that you swipe on Instagram and double tap, you know.
Hey! Nice work, dog. You fucking crushed it. You too. That was tight. Hot dogs, hand rails.